Hey there, welcome to my channel and welcome to this Let's Play video of EU4. Today we will be playing the country of Georgia. Now a little bit of a qualification in advance. Well, I am moderately experienced with the game of EU4. I have no experience with Let's Play videos, so this could be a bit rusty in portions, and I appreciate feedback not only on my gameplay but also on the production value of the Let's Play video itself. That being said, let's talk about Georgia. So why Georgia? I have played Georgia on several occasions before, and I find it an interesting country to play because it has some good expansion opportunities early on, but also some very large threats early on. At the same time, it's not the immediate and first thing on the plate for such countries as the Ottomans, who is generally more focused on Byzantium, of course, Kandar, Karaman, Albania, and will eat them first before turning its attention to Georgia. So you have a small window of time to prepare and possibly deter eventual attack by the much stronger neighbors. The Ottomans being the biggest, but equally threatening, or almost as equally threatening. QQ, even AQ, can present a challenge, and the hordes to the north are also a limiting factor. That being said, if Georgia can reclaim its cores that it has recently lost, according to the history, much like it's currently also losing some of its cores. If it can reclaim those cores, it can get enough strength to have an interesting playthrough. So, all this being said, let's get directly to the game itself. So make sure I click the right country, clicking on Georgia. There we go. We'll just do a normal mode in case there are crashes or other complications due to my own technical inabilities or computer's limitations. So, Kingdom of Georgia in 1444. It has been divided amongst his sons, and because of that, we have a situation that we have two neighboring countries, the country of Imereti and the country of Samtskhe, that have all of our cores. Well, not all of them, we have 3 of them, but their entire countries constitute cores that we have as well. So that presents very good opportunities for early conquest. And indeed, we will be going to conquest immediately. So first thing we need to do though, before starting our wars, is take a look at all the usual setup procedures. We'll start with arrivals. As we can see here, AQ, Shirvan, and Circassia have all rivaled us. They will all be on the plate for the future, but we will actually start by rivaling our neighbors who have our cores, even though they seem to like us just a little bit. Tough luck, sorry fellas. You are on the menu. So we've got our 2 going. We will leave the 3rd slot open for rivals. Think about it a little bit. We can then send our diplomats off somewhere. What I'm going to first do is send a diplomat to start fabricating on Shirvan, just in case our wars in the west are for some reason forestalled. We will have the option to instead go to the east. The next diplomat will actually be going up to Muscovy. It is a bit early and will take some time to be able to get an alliance with them, but they are our eventual goal as the big Orthodox power in the game. And the sooner we get those relations up and going, the less groundwork or footwork we will have to do later to get an alliance with them. I also like to send a diplomat off to the Mamluks early. Pretty rare to be able to get an alliance with them, but it can happen, and with enough effort you can actually make it happen, though it won't happen immediately. So we will improve relations with them as well, and we do that also because there's not a lot of other potential real allies in the neighborhood, so no reason to build up friendships with Trebizond, for instance, or Theodora. And at the same time, it doesn't do us much good to start fabricating claims this early because we've got 2 wars right here that will keep us entertained. Alright, next, let's kind of just plow through our little list here. We've got the court. We will not be hiring any advisors because Georgia has a lousy economy and an even lousier trade position. It lies at the intersection of several trade nodes here. We'll get to moving our trader in just a moment though. We've got our king, who is not very good and is pretty bad for our relations as well. We'll keep the construction costs down, but we've got no money to build anyways. And we've got an even worse heir. The discipline thing is useful, but this 003, not very appealing. Ages are very close together, setting us up for a bad position. So the first thing we want to do is actually make that heir a general. And hope that he looks okay. That's not bad. Wish he had a siege pip, but that should help us in our wars quite a bit. Nonetheless, I still hope he dies in those wars and we can get a slightly more worthy heir. Alright, I may even think about making the king into a general a little bit later, but we have our heir and he can immediately get stationed with troops in the hopes that he dies in a drilling accident or falls from his horse. Moving on down the list, nothing much we can do there. We've got the Georgian culture. Our culture group is not the biggest in the world, as you can see here. So we want to try to get as much of this land as possible so that we have some, so that we don't get as many Malays from different culture or unaccepted culture things. Right, next on the list, diplomacy. We've already picked our rivals, so nothing much to do on that screen. Here you can see our financial situation, not great. We will not be lowering army maintenance though, because we're going to war not on the 11th of December, but as soon as we get a couple more troops up and built. Trade situation also not great, but we do have a free merchant. One is an Astrakhan. The other free merchant we might as well send off to Crimea. That's where we're collecting trade. If I send a merchant there, it gives us a tiny bit more trade power, just 2. That's barely going to make a difference, but better than just leaving that merchant twiddling his thumbs in the capital. Moving down the list a bit further, no reason to really look at technology or ideas yet, except to note that we do have an infantry combat ability bonus of 10% in our traditions, as well as a fort defense bonus, both of which can be useful given the difficult starting position of Georgia. We'll go through the other ideas as we unlock them. Most of them are pretty but there's 1 or 2 that are actually okay. Also not important at this time, our religion is Orthodox, and we're going to try to get some Patriarch authority as quickly as we can. What with the third Rome DLC or Immersion pack, I'm not sure what it qualified as. Orthodox does have some definite strengths. Our military, we've got 6 units produced. We can go up to 8, so we're going to make the extra 2 right now. Just infantry, because we don't have a lot of money, and we do get that infantry bonus. So we've queued up to our force limit, and we can last look at the estates. I'm not going to actually do anything with the estates at the moment. I do eventually exploit them for all their military support, but there's no reason to do it right away. I'm hoping that we can give them some provinces and stuff once we've taken back our cores. Alright, let's get time a-rolling here then. Turn that up a little bit and unpause the game and move our troops on up here. We will be needing to call one of the diplomats back as soon as it is time to invade our neighbors. We will choose which one to invade based on how the diplomatic situation at the moment looks, but ideally it will be Imereti because they do not have a fort. Takes a little bit longer to siege this fort down because it's, as you see, a level 3, which means you need at least 9 troops, which is over our force limit, but will not be over our force limit once we get the these cores back over here. So we've got our troops built, which means next we can actually complete the mission. Thriving arms industry, morale of armies bonus. That will be useful for the wars that we will be starting as soon as our morale ticks up. Alright, I am waiting just a tiny bit there. Alright, close enough. I'm going to call him back. Troops are all gathered, but we are going to probably need 2-month ticks here for that to recover. Tick 1, yep. We're going to need 1 more month tick. or close to month. I'll probably wait till about the 17th, we'll say. No, that looks good. All right, let's now surprise ourselves and look at what friends our neighbors have made. No allies for Imereti. That's nice. Nobody will come to rescue them. And no friends for Samtskhe either. Samtskhe. I'll work on that pronunciation. I do have some Georgian friends who could probably fill me in on all of this. But then I'd have to, get on the phone and ask questions. Circassia is allied with Moldavia. Trebizond's probably allied with Theodora, we would assume. Yes, they are. And might as well check who Shirvan is allied with while we're there. Ardabil. That's nice. That happens a lot, and hopefully QQ will eat Ardabil, and then we'll help take Shirvan out. Might as well look at what the Ottomans are up to here. Allied to AQ. One of those games. That's a shame. I always like it when they don't do that. That just limits our expansion here quite a bit. But we'll have to see what happens then. At the very least, maybe that leaves Crimea open for us. Alright, let's get this war going. Declare war. Doesn't really matter what we take here, since we are taking them all. I can list it as that, but confirm, and the war is on. Strategy here, there is no strategy. It is diving right in. And there in the troop goes. And we will be meeting them on the field of battle in Odish, which is a marsh, but that marsh is better than fighting them in the mountains there, or the mountains there, and just as good as fighting them in the hills there. So, marsh battle we take. I will meanwhile send my spy back to finish this spy network in Shirvan while we fight this war. Sorry about that. Let's see how the battle goes. I kind of like to watch this. See what our dice rolls are like. Alright, not great. Fine. Alright. A trait. A hardy warrior, land attrition. Alright, well that's, good given the mountains here. The battle went okay. We did stack wipe them at least, which means the war is won. Hooray, the war is won. But we have to distribute our troops here. Alright, he can go there. And what do we got here then? Yep, I'm gonna need 2 here as well. Well, unless I leave the knights here, that might work. I still don't think we're gonna really have enough to take the capital until we get one of the other provinces down. Alright, we can even tick up our timer a little bit. Yeah, even that troop is actually too much then. Well, that's alright, actually. I'm going to leave them, since we have enough to siege the capital down if we do that. Surrender of the Main. And Moldavia has made a seek support from Hungary as their choice of action. I haven't really played with this yet, so I don't really know what that entails, but that doesn't sound like it's in Poland's favor. Abkhazia is under the occupation of Georgia. So we have it today in 1445, even if Georgia does not have it today in 2018. All right, moving the trip back into position. Another one coming up under occupation. I'm gonna just leave him there though, actually, in this case, to collect some loot, because we are losing money hand over foot. And there was something else that crossed my mind. Oh yes, our force limit's gonna be going up, and I want to queue those troops right away. At least one. The other one I may actually leave to become to be a mercenary. Alright, there we go. We can finally get that place secure. Alright, there we go. We have taken all the land, are collecting all the loot. All the loot is ours. Well, the capital is slowly getting sieged down. That troop can even just kind of hang out there. Well, yeah, we got plenty of time that fort is not going to come down for, so I can send that 1k over as well to Giria to collect more loot. Spy network in Shirvan is coming along, and we should check if Samtskhe has any allies yet. They do not. Shirvan has claimed some land that is technically ours. That is predictable. Our coastline, that is not quite ours yet, is being blockaded. How many ships do they have, I wonder? Nah, too difficult to see. QQ has already declared war upon Shirvan. I wonder what the war goal is. Well, the war goal pretty much has to be Shaki, so this does not bode well for us, but hopefully we can at least get that claim up quickly. Maybe they'll even somehow take it back and we can jump in on that. We'll see. At least get the claim up. Alright, the Polish and the Lithuanians are now together. Enjoy your friendship. And we can, before QQ takes this, fabricate a claim on Shaki so that even if QQ gets it, we will be able to declare war on QQ right away, immediately with our massive army. Alright, let's get that troop, that diplomat out of Shirvan then. Just give him 3 days to come back and think about where to send it next. Trebizond still just has one friend. And Theodora is friends with Byzantium. I wonder if we could get over and get that from, get Byzantium from the Ottomans. Be difficult, but tell you what I'm going to do, just in case. I'm going to build a spy network on Theodore before I build one in Trebizond. Because once we have this coastline here, of course, we will be able to actually put a claim up on Theodore. Spy network is coming along. We're clicking along at 4 speed, but sieges take a while. We don't have a general with a siege pip. I should have probably tried to check my king. Yeah, in fact, I'll might as well do that now. Could save us a little bit of manpower. We would have to ship in some, but let's make our king a general as well, since we don't really care if they die. Yeah, the stability hits suck, but nope. He has no advantage in any way in anything. Good if we want to reduce attrition, but that's about it. This fort will come down pretty quick, though. Still no allies. A bit of a shame. I sometimes like them to ally Circassia, so I can jump on that. Jump on getting Circassia as a vassal, because they are unfortunately a tribute of the Great Horde, which makes direct attack difficult. Moldova is at war with England. How is that? Because they're a marsh of Hungary. Yeah, I really didn't follow the patch updates much at all. Well, Hungary's in a good position there. And why is Hungary at war with England? Because they are allied with France. Huh. Alright, interesting things happening in the west. Meanwhile, in the east, we've won our little war. And we will be moving all of our troops right in there. Stop. Consolidating and checking again how the alliance situation looks. Now, the question that you always face here is, do you want to put it off a little bit and hope that maybe they ally Circassia? Let's look at their relationship with Circassia. Oops, not that one. And see if they actually even have potential. They do. Enemy of enemy. Enemy of enemy. I'm thinking about putting it off then. Yep, let's. Well, we do need to, unfortunately, get a diplomat back. Yeah, we'll just call that back. He's nice and close. Alright. No, we are not accepting your peace deal, because we will be demanding our own peace deal, which will include this, that, and plus a bunch of money. Well, as much money as we can get, at least. 70 is not bad, given how poor we are. Tick, tick, tick. Alright. That is all we can take from them. Let us send that demand up. That is done. Fine, fine. And I am just going to sit here for 1 month. We will send the spy back here, though. Maybe even 2. And hope that Samtskhe gets an alliance with Circassia. So, we need a new rival. We can make that rivaled in, how about, Circassia, just in case we need to go that route. And we could even tack in Shirvan, but they'll probably not be viable for very much longer. So, tell you what, well, let's add them anyways. And let's call the Mamluks guy back so that we can maybe get 1 or 2 points here. He is back, so let's go insult the Shirvanese. Try to tick up a little bit of power projection. Already down to 30. Wow, how'd that happen? I thought we were just a little bit higher. Send an insult. You dogs. Yeah, that got us up to 35. Not a whole lot of use in that. Alright, let's see. Nope, still nothing. Come on, guys. Make an ally. Make an ally. I know you want a friend. Nope, still not. I can't lower my maintenance until I see about this, but the Great Synod. Alright, we can gain some Patriarch authority, or we can gain some stability. This is one case when I say, to hell with the Patriarch authority, we're going with the stability. So let's first spend some of our precious admin to raise our stability by 1 before we accept the extra stability there. That reminds me, though, as well, that I have forgotten to make some states. That will be becoming a state, and that will be becoming a state as well, because we're going to be taking the rest of the state before you know it. Alright, I'm only going to hold off like 1 more month on this. We have now another opportunity for the National Epic. Costs us a bit of money and even more admin power, but prestige really pays off, in my opinion. I like to keep it maxed if possible. Still no ally. That is a shame. That must be the command button. Alright, no ally. That's going to have to be the way it is. We cannot be living with this any longer. We are going to first recruit 1 mercenary unit to help us in this war. There we go. That is almost improved. As soon as our mercenary is up and also has their morale down, we will be launching an attack. Though, we're going to move over there first. That's something I did not appropriately plan for. That at least means that we won't have a river crossing if we attack from Tbilisi. And they ran off, unfortunately. You cowards, come back and fight. Well, they ran off, so we'll have to just live with that. And we will be declaring war now. Taking pretty much whatever we can get. Confirm. Not exactly exciting wars when they're just these little things like that, but, well, not exactly the grand wars that we would hope for. And yeah, this is going to be really, really a nasty battle, but we haven't got any choice. And they've already got their morale back, unfortunately. Alright. Could have been worse. So, we need to split ourselves off a regiment. It's not going to be enough to siege that fort down, I'm afraid, but we'll have to do. A little bit shy. It won't take long for us to take Tau, and then we can send our last troop in there. There we go. Whoop, let's see what we got here. The Ottomans are at war with Byzantium and Theodora and Athens. Yeah, well, you're getting access because you're already going to hate me. You're getting access as well. That war did not take long to materialize, so not much reason for us to be building that spy network against Theodora. We no longer have the CB against Shirvan. We now have it against QQ. Yay, I guess. Alright, but we can at least fabricate on Theodora. Let's fabricate on their capital. And also withdraw that diplomat, while getting another diplomat to build a spy network in Trebizond. Alright. I'm not sure that there we go. Shirvan's no longer a valid rival. I'm not sure that this Mercenary unit really paid off, but oh well, we'll see. I'm going to try to take one off there. A lot of times you get a little bit of a tick down though, and then you lose your siege progress, or your siege doesn't make any more progress. Alright, we still have a free diplomat now. Let's send that diplomat to keep up more relationship improvements with the Mamluks. Do the Ottomans hate us? They already hate us. That really, really does not take long sometimes. Well, once this siege is won, a diplomat is spying on us, and a trade league is disbanded. All good stuff happening to everybody. Theodora's look like they want to attack the Ottomans from the east. I wonder how that will go. Siege is making progress, and we haven't had any sort of tick down in our manpower that's delayed it anyhow. Meanwhile, we are stripping this of a little bit of loot. Not a lot, but every penny helps. Okay, Trebizond has declared war also on Samtskhe. Well, you know, a little bit late. It's first come, first serve or something. Alright, the last jousting tournament. Standard game event that will give us a boost to the morale of armies and army tradition and some prestige. It means we're losing even more admin, as well as the ducats and splendor. But yeah, that is less important than the admin itself, but you cannot give that up. And soon we will be to the point where we do actually need to choose a focus for our few points that we do have, and that will have to be military so that we don't fall behind on it. Recall the diplomat. All right, we did finally lose a little bit there. We're gonna have to send in the troops again. We finished improving all of our relations with Muscovy. Do they like us lots now? They do. Interesting. We have got to hope that this war ends in quick order. All right, royal marriage. They won't do the alliance because of that, but if I get the royal marriage, a lot of times you can get the alliance but not the royal marriage. So I'll get the royal marriage. There we go. And that will make our life a lot easier. We'll just leave him there now so that we don't have to micro this one troop back and forth. Alright, still have that free diplomat, and we can now get a claim on Trebizond. Fabricate a claim, Trebizond. Alright, alright. And withdraw that one. Unfortunately, I bet you they are still allied with the Ottomans. Yes, they are. That's still a vassal. Nothing has happened there, and that unfortunately is also going to be a problem. They are allied with the Uzbeks. What I'm going to do instead is start improving relations with Genoa with my diplomat, because if we can't take their land, which we can't early in the game, we want to be friends so that we get some institution spread from them. Alright. Well, we're just gonna leave the other diplomat for a moment so that we, yes, can negotiate our peace deal. Now, if I vassalize them, it would be an opportunity to declare on Trebizond. But there's actually no reason to do that. Their allies aren't impressive or anything. I'm more curious, though, if I actually declared on them whether Theodora would come. They would. Because I want them to, not because I don't want them to. And what about them? Yep, that could be done as well. Either way. Huh. Well, we'll think about it after the peace deal. Same scenario as the last one. All your land, all your money, because these are our cores. They cost us nothing to acquire. And not a lot of money, but every penny helps. There we go. Alright, we have increased the size of our country threefold. We have a total of 10 regiments bouncing around with a pretty decent general, a 341 in charge of them, even if he will be a terrible king, so we do not want to keep him for long, I hope. We're going to take a look at the rivals here then. We've only got Circassia left, so we need some new ones. And we don't have a lot of options. It has to be either AQ, Crimea, or QQ. The problem with it being AQ is that there's not much of a way to declare war on them, even tangentially, and they're allied with the Ottomans, so declaring war on them directly, not much of an option either. Crimea does not have friends, is not friends with the Ottomans at the present. Alright, that would be nice. So we are going to make them our rival first. Crimea. Because we could shortly, once we get Theodora, get some claims up on them even. And the other rival, we don't have to pick it right now, so we'll leave it open. Probably will end up being QQ unless something changes over here. The game, when you play Georgia, can really take different directions. You can end up, usually you end up actually heading this direction for your early expansion, which kind of sucks, pretty shit land up there. You can end up expanding this direction quite extensively. Expensive, and pisses a lot of people off. I should probably watch my language so this is more family friendly. Upsets a lot of people. I promise I'll get better at that. But yet, very rich land, so that is nice. Very rarely can you sometimes expand this way or this way earlier on. I mean, later on, of course, this is a major expansion route, and more mid-game, this becomes an expansion route. But every now and then you get lucky and can go down this route early. So, we have conquered the initial stuff. I'm going to put in a cut here then. But I'm pretty happy with how it went, even though I really don't like the diplomatic situation this game, I must admit. It is always a bit disappointing when AQ allies the Ottomans. I think a lot of people agree with that sentiment as well, that the Ottomans should not ally AQ, they should eat them. But we will make the best of the situation. At the very least, perhaps then we avoid the Ottomans acquiring Crimea, and we can expand up in that direction and get some of this nice Orthodox land up in Lithuania to be our very own. Alright, with that then, thank you for joining me for this first Let's Play of Georgia, and I hope to see you next time. Ciao for now, bye.